Hi again, everybody. All right, sitting here at home, sitting here with all my old albums. Do you guys see those in the back? Isn't that so cool? I even have a turntable. So anyway, you guys just don't even know the joy of that probably unless you talk to your parents about it. But I'm really kind of looking back at some of the old records now because I've been I have so much time at home. So it's great. You gotta love it. All right, but we should probably get started on the math. All right, so let's take a look at this. Welcome to day 4 of lesson 12. This is the guided practice, and I'm going to try to take you through a problem based on commission and what it means to work on commission before you start the guided practice on your own. So we can actually feel pretty secure about that. All right, so it's the same goal as it has been, analyze proportional relationships, but today's target is using diagrams and equations to solve problems involving commission, sales price, and markup. There are two practices I think we'll be utilizing today mostly, although I tend to think we use all 8 every time we do math. But for now, let's say I think we're going to be making sense of problems and persevering in solving them, and then attending to precision today. All right, here we go. Directions are same as they have been. Just make sure you're writing everything down or typing it on a Google Doc so you can hand it in later for a grade. All right, so our warm-up is going to tie right into the lesson today. So I'm still going to call it warm-up. It's more like we're just doing a warm-up and then we're going to go right to the bookwork and ready math today. But I'm going to read this, and I would like you to read along with me because this explains what it means to work on commission. So working on commission means that your pay is based on how much you sell. A commission check is issued and it's based on a percentage. For example, if you earn 8% of everything you sell and you sell $24,000 worth of goods, then your commission check would be 8% of 24,000, or you know me, I like to use decimals, or 800ths times 24,000, which equals $1,920. Usually the commission is on top of your regular salary. All right, it's kind of great if you're a really good salesperson. Usually your employer makes this worth your while. Car salesmen, they often work on commission, so that's why they want to sell cars so badly, because then they make more money. All right, so a lot of people work on commission who work in sales. All right, so let's try this problem together. All right, so suppose Jan decides to take a job at a clothing outlet. She can choose one of 2 payment plans. She can either earn $600 per week or $450 per week plus a 10% commission on everything she sells. They give her 1 week to decide. All right, so here's my first question, and I'd like you to write your ideas down. What types of information or data should Jan keep track of to help determine which plan is the best? All right, so go ahead and pause the video, write some ideas down, and then when you've got those written down, start the video up again. All right, here we go. So I'm not really going to go through what the correct ideas were in terms of what would be the best data for Jan to collect. I'm just going to take a look at your ideas and see what you had to say. All right. I did kind of write down a few things down here, but I'm hoping you guys have some other ideas. All right, so let's go ahead and call this problem 1. All right, so we're basically the warm-up was what data should she collect. Problem 1 is to answer these questions. All right, so let's say Jan collects data every day, and she finds on average she sells about $400 worth of clothes per day. So here's what I'm asking you to try to figure out on your own. What would her commission check be for 1 week if she works 5 days a week? All right, that's important, the 5-day-a-week thing, right? So next question would be then, what's the better deal for her? The $600 per week or the commission plan? And remember, the commission plan is $450 plus 10% of whatever she sells. And remember, she sells about $400 of clothes per day. All right, so take a little time to figure this out. Pause the video. When you think you have an answer about what's the better deal here, go ahead and start the video again. All right, here we go. All right, so I put the questions again at the top, so right here, just to the right of my face here. And let me tell you what I did to solve this. This is only one solution. You might have done some other things to solve it. If you did, it's so hard for me to teach this way because I can't hear your great ideas, but please make sure you get them on paper so we can see what those ideas were. All right, so first thing I did was I figured out how much she sold in 1 week. So I'm like, all right, if she sells 400 a day, then 400 times 5 is 2,000. By the way, you didn't have to do it this way. I'm going to give you another way you could do it. This is just the way I chose to start it. Then I thought, okay, her commission then would be 10% of that 2,000. Again, there are several ways to solve this. I decided to do 2,000 divided by 10. Doesn't mean that's the right way. It's just the way I chose to do it. I also could have done 2,000 times 0.1, or I could have done 2,000 times 1/10, like a fraction. Several different ways to do that. But any way you do that, you should end up with $200 as her commission check. So her weekly pay on the commission plan then would be $450 plus the 200, $650. Well, clearly then that means the commission plan is better because 650 is $50 more than $600 per week. All right. Another thing you could have done is just figure out what her commission would have been each day. So she would have gotten 10% of the 400 each day, so $40 per day. Then do 40 times 5. That would give you the 2,000 as well. And I'm sure you guys have some other ways to solve that. Here's what I'd like you to do right now. I'd like you to think about this. What are 2 ways she could make her pay even higher? Right? And people who are working on commission are always trying to think about that. So add that. We're not going to go over that, but I want to read some of your ideas. All right, so pause, answer this question right here, and then when you're ready to move on, just start the video. All right, so here we go. All right, so these 2 pages come from your Ready book. If you have uploaded, or if your teacher has uploaded the book, you can actually find those pages, and it's problems 18 through 20. I can't remember the exact pages here, but I'm sure you could find them. And I cut the pages off when I copied and pasted. All right, so I'm going to move my face right up here so you can read through this problem here. So we've got Samuel. Samuel pays $31.50 for a jacket. The amount includes 5% sales tax. And how much is the jacket without the sales tax? All right, we did a problem like this before. Basically, the entire price is the jacket plus the sales tax. And then you can actually figure it out by determining how much the tax was and subtracting it, or you can do what they did here. Remember when we talked about the relationship between multiplication and division? That's what they're doing. It's a little bit of algebra right here. Okay, you gotta love it. So they figured out, all right, Samuel pays 105%. Well, we'll change that to 1.05. P is the price of the jacket without the tax. Well, here's what we figured out. Total, he pays 105% of the jacket because he's got that extra 5%. And we know that's $31.50. Then they're like, okay, 1.05 times P must equal $31.50. So I'm going to use that relationship between multiplication and division. So they did $31.50 divided by 1.05. Try that in your calculator. Remember, calculators are allowed on this lesson. If you do that, 31.50 divided by 1.05, it should give you 30. All right, check it out and see if that works. All right, what I'd like you to do is take some time right now to do these problems. So it's 18 through 20. So write on your paper, write 18 through 20. Take your time solving these, and when you're ready, start the video up again. All right, so you should be pausing now. All right, so here's what I'd like you to do now. All right, this is the teacher's text. All right, I'm going to actually move my face right down over Samuel's problem here because we don't need to see that anymore. All right, and I want you to do what it says at the top. Circle any of the problems you had trouble with, right? And then we'll take a look at it. All right, now what we're going to be checking though is did you actually make an effort? All right, so don't just circle them all. saying I had trouble with all of it. Now we want to see what you tried, okay? What I'd like you to do if you had trouble though is look at what the teacher's text says. Spending some time really looking at the teacher's answer key is going to help you quite a bit here, okay? All right, take your time, read through it. If you have any specific questions, you can always send me an email or send your teacher an email. My email is ebailey, that's B-A-I-L-E-Y, at rsu14.org. All right, remember this here. All right, turn your homework in. All right, you know how to do that at this point, I'm guessing. All right, hope you have a great day. All right, and we'll see you for day 5.